At this time, I'd like to open the Wednesday, June 9th, 2021 East Long Meadow Conservation Commission meeting. And I would ask if anybody is recording the meeting other than the town of East Long Meadow. I can't see anything, Don, so you're gonna have to tell me if
No.
anybody. Nobody.
Hang on. Yeah, nobody is. Nope.
Okay. So we're gonna move right on to the first order of business, and that is to take the roll call. Myself, Tom O'Brien, is present. Elizabeth Stoughton, are you here?
Yes.
Will Armet,
Yes, sir.
Tony Sampaccini?
Yep.
Hey, Tony. All right.
Hi.
So that is all the members of the current Conservation Commission. So we have a quorum. So the first order of business, seeing as how we've had some personnel changes, is to reorganize the board. So I'm currently the vice chair. If somebody really wants to be the chair, I'd be more than happy to remain the vice chair, but I will assume the chair if nobody else wants it, and then we would need to get a vice chair and a clerk. So I would put it,
I'll go in as vice chair if you go to chair.
Elizabeth, Tony, how do you guys feel about things?
I'm okay with that.
I'm fine.
So would one of you guys like to be the clerk?
I'll pass.
All the clerk does is just gonna read what's on the agenda into the meeting. So it's, you know, it's an easy position. So Tony, did you say you wanted it, or Elizabeth, you want it?
I think Elizabeth said she wanted it.
All right, she's smiling. So
No, I can do it though, it's fine.
I'll entertain a motion to reorganize the board as Tom O'Brien chair, Will Armet vice chair, and Elizabeth Stoughton as clerk.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, Elizabeth,
Aye.
Will,
Aye.
Tony,
Aye.
and I'm also an aye. So that is the new organization of the board. So moving forward, I wasn't present for the last meeting, but I have viewed the meeting and read the minutes. And Elizabeth and Tony, you were present. So I'm going to entertain a motion to approve the meeting or the minutes of the meeting from May 12th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
You know, I apologize. I should have asked if anybody had any issues with those minutes. Is everybody good?
Mhm.
All right, so the motion is made and seconded. All those in favor, Elizabeth,
Aye.
Will,
Aye.
Tony,
Aye.
and I am also an aye. That motion passes. Moving forward, certificate of compliance or certificate of compliance. Elizabeth, would you read into the record the first
Or
order?
do I just read what it says under number one?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, you got it. Case CC 2021-9, request for certificate of compliance for multiple units at Fields at Chestnut, Mass DEP 150-363. It's a request for certificate of compliance for 27 units at Fields at Chestnut. Assessor's parcel ID 750, 52 Broadleaf Circle, 50 Broadleaf Circle, 29 Fields Drive, 33 Fields Drive, 35 Fields Drive, 37 Fields Drive, 5 Ribbon Grass Drive, 16 Ribbon Grass Drive, 14 Ribbon Grass Drive, 10 Ribbon Grass Drive, 8 Ribbon Grass Drive, 45 Field Drive, 57 Fields Drive, 2 Clover Lane, 5 Clover Lane, 49 Fields Drive, 47 Fields Drive, 11 Clover Lane, 15 Clover Lane, 17 Clover Lane, 19 Clover Lane, 21 Clover Lane, 4 Clover Lane, 6 Clover Lane, 8 Clover Lane, and 10 Clover Lane. Applicant is Anne Marie Alexander, Esquire, Devlin, Peters, and Tarpey, LLC, PO Box 400, Somers, Connecticut, 06071.
Thank you. You're great at that decision already to become the clerk. right out of the gate. So the first 14 that she read into the record are ending in 57 Fields Drive are non-jurisdictional.
Sorry,
Um,
Tom. I think I might have confused that when we were going over the agenda earlier. They're not ordered that way. I'm putting it into the chat, and I'll just read it into the record. 52 and 50 Broadleaf Circle are non-jurisdictional. 29 Fields, 33, 35, 37, 39, 45, and 57 Fields Drive are non-jurisdictional. And then 5, 16, 14, 10, and 8 Ribbon Grass Drive are non-jurisdictional. So there's 14 that are non-jurisdictional, and then 13 that are.
Okay, thanks, Bethany. I personally haven't been out there. I mean, I've been out there in the past, but I haven't been out there recently and looked at the non-jurisdictional. Has anybody else on the board been out there and done a
No.
site visit?
Mm-mm.
Tony?
Long time ago.
All right. So what we could do is, if at the board's will, we could maybe issue a partial certificate of compliance to the 14 non-jurisdictional lots, and then set up a site visit to go over the 13, the other half of this certificate of compliance. Or Bethany, do you think that we should just continue this all to the next meeting, or issue a partial certificate of compliance?
That's up to the commission. Either way would work. They're all applied in one block. The engineer's letter said that that all of the lots were in compliance. But if you feel more comfortable doing a site visit first, I think that's reasonable.
Personally, I've been out there before, and it's all been in compliance. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward site. I have no problems issuing a certificate of compliance this evening for the whole thing. If the other members would like a site visit, we can just put this thing on hold, do a site visit, and what's the will of the board?
Let's just vote on it.
Elizabeth, will, have anything?
Well,
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
we do have the letter from Smith saying that it complies and everything. I think we've all worked with Smith plenty to believe him. He's never led us wrong before, so I'm okay with it.
Okay, yes, he is a respected professional counsel. I'll entertain a motion to approve the certificate of compliance as Elizabeth read into the record.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, Elizabeth,
Aye.
Will,
Aye.
Tony?
Aye.
I'm also an aye. Motion passes. Moving forward to the next item. Elizabeth, would you like to read into the record under new business? The
I
first item?
can, but then I have to recuse myself from voting.
I'll read it.
Okay,
Okay.
You all set?
yeah.
Can we vote with only 3 votes still? Does that still work?
Ooh, that's all right.
Bethany, we have a quorum and we have 3 voting members. Is that gonna work for,
That's a good question. It might be a better idea to continue that until the next meeting when we might have additional members who could vote on it.
okay, so I'll entertain a motion to continue item 1, the ratification of the order conditions for case number NOI 2021-4.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor, Elizabeth,
Aye.
Will,
Aye.
Tony,
Aye.
and I'm also an aye. So that will be continued. Next item on the agenda, project monitoring. We have Purv Street. I had told Bethany I would get out there tonight and I did not have a chance. Has anybody been by Purv Street to see if the silk fence has been corrected?
I have
Yeah.
not.
What was that, Will?
I have not, no.
I was by there the other day, and it looks like to me the silt fence is gone or is buried.
All right, so why don't we continue that to the next meeting? And it's close to my house. I'll definitely take a ride by if any of the other members can take a look at it. And there's a spreadsheet on project monitoring. I'll just put it out to the board. Has anybody else done any project monitoring they'd like to share?
So, not this past rain, but the rain the night after or the night of our last meeting, I went to Hidden Ponds the next morning. And in my opinion, the place looks like a bomb went off. They're tracking mud everywhere. There are no tracking pads. And this is what I do for a living. And that retention basin by no means is what I would consider a thorough finished product. And that's my professional opinion from doing site work as a living, that I wouldn't be satisfied with that. And as a board member, I don't think that they're doing adequate protection to dragging stuff into the road and everything else. And I'll be happy to continue to go there or meet with Al Joyce or whatever we have to do. But I think that it's a little out of hand, to be honest.
I'm good with setting up a meeting with Al to address these issues. They sound serious.
That's just my personal opinion.
What's Elizabeth or Tony, any thoughts on how you want to proceed with this? I mean, I know it's been an ongoing issue. And
Well, I think Will hit the nail on the head. I mean, I'll take Will's opinion any day. And if he feels that it's really bad down there, we should get on the ball right now. Send him out a letter.
I agree 100%. So would you guys like to send a letter to Al with our concerns and ask him to meet with us to see what he can do to correct
let's
these things?
do it ASAP.
All right, Bethany, do you think you could draft a letter?
Sure. Do you want to request him at the next meeting or do a site visit?
Yeah, I think that'd be
We do
great.
a site visit, to be honest.
Definitely.
And if he rectifies some of it in the meantime, fantastic, and sets the bar as to what we're expecting out of the project, that's fine. And if not, we can give him some instruction as to what we'd like to see.
Wasn't he told a couple of weeks ago at the last meeting that he needed those tracking pads, that they weren't in place? He's been told this on a regular basis.
I agree with you. I think clearly that our board here has done some restructuring. I don't think anyone here has particularly spent a ton of time there. So I think to start fresh going forward as to what we're looking for as a board is a better decision rather than harping on the past. That's just another one of my opinions.
No,
I agree with that 100%. We're a new board,
I do.
not new faces, but new structure, and I believe in not harping on the past, not dwelling on it, and just moving forward. So I take your word at 100% that the conditions are what they are. So Bethany, if you could send Al a letter we probably want a site visit within a week and ask for his presence at the next meeting
Sure.
to speak to these concerns. Along the lines of this, the site visits, in the past, you know, site visits are a necessity of the board. You know, I could have been better at making a lot of them. So in the past, the board met at 7 p.m. on the second and fourth Wednesday of every month. And we conducted site visits usually around 5 o'clock that evening, maybe a little bit early if we had 2 or 3. That way it was fresh in the minds of all the commissioners, and it seemed to work pretty good. We got away from that a few years ago, but I would certainly entertain moving back to that format. I know it's an hour later on a Wednesday evening, but it's kind of one-stop shopping for getting the site visits out of the way, having them fresh in your mind, and then going right to the meeting. And that way we're not, for me, Saturday mornings are tough. You know, all my time is valuable, like all of your time is valuable. So I would put it out there to the board. Is there any suggestions on how you guys want to conduct site visits? And is there specific days, times? I mean, do you guys want to do it as a group? I think that's generally the best format.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
So I'm actually, this was something that was big on me leaving the last time, was when it went from 7 to 6. It's harder for me to attend a 6 o'clock meeting. So if everyone else is okay with moving to 7, I would appreciate that as well. If not, we can try our best to keep making it work.
So Elizabeth, what are your thoughts?
I can do either time. Either time works.
Good.
Yeah.
So that's great. Tony, you're good with 7 o'clock?
I'm good with any time.
All right, so what I'll do is we'll entertain a motion to change the meeting time. Bethany and Rebecca, are you good with that as well?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Not gonna present any issues for you?
Hi, everybody. I need your help.
All right, so I would entertain a motion to move the meetings till 7 o'clock, the second and fourth Wednesday of every month. And then with the plan on having site visits before the meeting at a, you know, prearranged meeting time, usually the Wednesday before, or excuse me, the hours before a meeting. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second,
All those in favor, Elizabeth,
Aye.
Will,
Aye.
Tony?
aye.
I'm also an aye. Motion passes. So the new meeting time will be 7 o'clock. If we could do a site visit, I know that it's putting it right before the meeting, and you know, we're sending a letter to Al tomorrow. Bethany, if you'd like to, or you or Rebecca could set up a time. Weekdays work best for me in the evening. If the other commissioners want a time during the weekend, I mean, I could try and make that, but what do you guys think for a time for Al Joyce for a meeting time? Bethany, you want to just set something up and then we'll just try and adhere to it?
Why don't you give me like 1 or 2 days that would possibly work for at least 2 of you, and then we can work off of that.
Any evening after 6 o'clock works for me.
Works
Yeah.
for me.
That's fine for me too.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so Bethany will take care of that, the letter and the setting up of the meeting. Did anybody else have anything under project monitoring? Hearing nothing, I'll move forward to other business.
Oh, Tom, I've got one thing to ask. Rockies, how's that coming about with the basin in the back? Is it clean yet or what?
Do you want me to talk on this one?
Yes, please.
Sure.
Mr. Falcone's one of my clients. He's one of my customers. So they should have submitted pictures of before we cleaned it and after. So basically, we were able to successfully get the remaining trash out of it. And then as far as what appeared to be an oily substance, they make these oil rags that you put on water and they suck up the oil off the top of the water and don't absorb the water. So we laid those across the water and picked them up, and instantly the water became clear again, see-through. I'm not sure if she sent those pictures, if Ann Callahan sent those pictures to the town or not. But we did do that over the course of a week, just about every day. And then after that it was all prior to the big rainfall there a few weeks ago. Then we turned around and checked it after the rainfall, and it was still maintaining a clear water, not no oil on top. So I'm not sure where the discharge came from. It doesn't appear to be continuing though.
Okay.
So I suggest, well, my feeling is I'll take a look at it in the next 2 weeks, and we can probably speak on it at the next meeting.
Good.
Sounds good to me.
Elizabeth? Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have anything on project monitoring? Other than Rockies and Pervs? No? All right, so the next order of business is other business. And we're still talking about hiring a conservation agent. And Bethany and Rebecca gave us an outline for the position. It looks good to me. Everybody else get a chance to look at it and have anything to offer on it?
It looked good to me.
Will, Tony, you look good?
I think it looks good. What is everyone's opinion on how often we need this? I personally only think doesn't need to be even a part-time position. It'd almost be like a per diem instead. Is that what we're leaning towards or no?
Yeah, that's what I wrote it up as. So I had one as a part-time and I had the other as a per diem. So that way during busy seasons, we can lean on them a little bit more, and basically the winter season, we don't really need them as much for the most part.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Yeah, so it's discretionary to the town and the board, how much or how little we use them, correct?
Correct.
All right, I mean, everything looks good. The qualifications are pretty straightforward. I would hope we get some good applicants. And Bethany and I spoke the other day about, she's gonna obviously field applicants, and then we would conduct interviews and obviously just pass our findings on to Mary as to who we thought would be good candidates. I think it's ultimately Mary and Bethany's decision as to who's going to fill the role. But so Bethany, do we need to vote on that as far as moving forward with it?
If you'd like to, I think next step will just be passing it through our HR department and just making sure they have a chance to review it and have a good understanding of what the position entails. And then I think we'll be advertising in the reminder and on the website and possibly some other online platforms.
Great. So to put out to the board do you guys want to digest this for a couple weeks? I know it's been kind of batted around for a while, but it sounds like it's getting close. Or do you guys want to vote on it tonight to accept the conditions as Bethany laid out and have her move forward? What's the pleasure of the board?
I'm all right with it on the per diem aspect that she wrote it out as, to approve it. And that way it can be pushed forward and stop being batted back and forth.
Elizabeth? Tony?
Yeah, I'm good with voting on it for the per diem.
Tony?
Yeah, I'm good with it. Let's move on.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion to accept this qualifications summary and have Bethany move forward with hiring a conservation agent.
So moved.
Second,
All those in favor, Elizabeth?
Aye.
Will?
Aye.
Tony?
aye.
And I'm also an aye. All right, nice job, Bethany, Rebecca, on that. So the last item is policies and procedure of the Conservation Commission. My personal feeling is we just take a step back and maybe share this at the next meeting. Because it seems that the parties that were most involved with policies and procedures are no longer with us. If there's something you guys would like to address this evening, does anybody have anything they'd like to address on policies and procedures?
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Great. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the
So
June 9th,
moved.
2021 meeting.
Second.
So made and seconded by Tony and Will. All those in favor, Elizabeth?
Aye.
Will?
Aye.
Tony?
Aye.
I myself am also an aye. All right. Thank you, folks. Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening, and I'll
Thank
see you
you.
guys probably at the site visit or the next meeting.
Have a good night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Good meeting, Tom. Bye.